Hello there. Thank you for taking a moment to watch this video. And on this specific training, we're going to continue our Salesforce integration and setup for the PhoneBurner app. Now, of course, this is just one video that's part of a series, and I hope that you've been watching all of the videos because they all do build on each other. And on this specific video, we're going to continue talking about adding the option to begin a PhoneBurner dial session to a custom object. In our particular example, I'm using an object that I created in my dev environment called property. This property object is designed to allow me to create property records that are also related to contacts in most cases. Now that we've created this configuration, let's talk about how you and your team can start taking advantage of the PhoneBurner Power Dialer from this object. So I'm going to jump back over to my sales app. And let's go over to my properties object. Here you can see my properties object. And you can see I have two PhoneBurner session buttons, one for contact and one for properties. And as a reminder, this button here to begin a contact PhoneBurner session will actually call the contact related to the property, whereas the begin property PhoneBurner session button will actually call the property record itself. So it really depends on what it is that you want to see when you're in the dial session and where you want the activities logged after a dial session. So let's go ahead and change our view. Obviously, you would have different list views that you're working from. I don't have many here because it's just a test object. And I'm just going to select the one record that I have. And in this example, let's go ahead and launch a contact PhoneBurner session. And here you'll notice once I start this dial session, the contact detail iframe is what I see in the dial session window, even though I initiated the session from the property object. And any notes or follow-up tasks that I create while in this dial session will actually be created and attached to the contact record that we're calling. And of course, the dispositions, when I disposition a call, those activities are going to get logged back to the contact, not the property. We'll go ahead and hit done. Let's go back. Let's select our record again. And now you'll see the begin property PhoneBurner session button. Let's go ahead and select that and begin a dial session. Uh-oh, we ran into an issue. Even though I had selected one record, 0 records were added to the PhoneBurner dial session. There's a very important piece that you have to consider whenever you add an option to launch a dial session to a custom object, and that's the phone number. You see, PhoneBurner doesn't know which fields on that record contain phone numbers that you want to call. And so you actually have to tell PhoneBurner what those fields are. So let's go ahead and close this window. Let's go to the Object Manager. So let's go ahead and click on our setup. Go to the Object Manager here. Let's find our property object. Let's go to Fields and Relationships. And here you can see I have a phone number field called Property Phone. And so I need to tell PhoneBurner that that's the actual phone number that I want to call whenever I'm calling the property records. So I'm going to take this field name. I'm going to jump over to my PhoneBurner account. If you haven't already logged into your PhoneBurner account, go there. Once logged in, click on your initials in the upper right-hand corner. Go down to Integration. On the integration page, click on Details for Salesforce. We're going to scroll down to Field Mappings. After Custom Field Mappings, you're going to see this new field mapping option. We're going to paste the API name for that field in here. Tell the system whether or not it's home, work, mobile, whatever we want to call it, doesn't matter, and then save. Now we should see that field listed here as a custom field mapping, which we do. Now if we jump back over to Salesforce, if we begin our dial session now, we will of course now see that a record was in fact added to this dial session, and we can get connected and start dialing. And when we start dialing, we're not going to see the contact details, we're going to see the property details. And if there's specific contact information you need to see here, you just need to make sure that those fields exist on the property object and are added to your layout so that you can see all of the information that you care about during the dial session. I'm going to go ahead and end that call. Let's go ahead and create a note. I'm also going to create a follow-up task. Let's go ahead and save that. And you'll notice that I can view the activity history and note history for the property record that I'm calling right here in the dial session window. If I click on Edit in Salesforce, that's going to take me to the property record directly in Salesforce, where I can very easily jump to the contact record if I want to from here. And then finally, when I disposition the call, let's say I mark this one as interested, that activity will get logged to the property record. So here you can see I called the property record using PhoneBurner, and PhoneBurner logged that call activity here. This is just an example of a custom object so that I could show you how you can add the option to begin a PhoneBurner dial session to any custom object within your org. Hopefully this helps you and your team get more done using the power of PhoneBurner. Thanks again, and happy dialing.